Well, it's April in North Carolina, and the weather here can't figure out if it's spring, winter, some mixture of in between, and the pollen's trying to take us out. In today's video, we're going to continue our planting of our seedlings. We're going to check out all the garden and see how everything that we've already planted is doing so far. Talk about the great potato debacle of 2025, which the wife is still laughing at. And finally answer the question about why an upside down trash can constantly sits on our deck. Now let's rewind to April 4th and see what's happening in the garden.
It feels like the right time to come out and start filming.
You mean because I've got one left?
I did not know that.
You know, you gotta love North Carolina. It's like not even like 9 o'clock, Harley. It's like 80% humidity.
Yep.
Almost 90 degrees.
Yep. And then
on
days,
Tuesday, it's going to be in the 20s.
Wow, that one cart really got all these?
So this is my third cart. Basically 4 of these suck up an entire mixture of potting soil. 3 parts compost, 3 parts peat moss, 1 part perlite.
I bought new bags. What do you think about the difference between the 2 bags?
No, they're the same size. They don't feel as thick, and I don't like the handles as much. I don't feel like they're going to fall apart, but I don't feel like they're as good as the others either.
It's not bad, but this one just feels thicker. We like this handle better.
Well, this is a hard polyester.
Yeah. Why does the soil look so fluffy and brown?
Give it 5 minutes. It'll be yellow too.
We didn't show us planting that one, but this is the one that replaced the one that we were trying to rescue.
I'm not really trying to rescue it anymore. The little small green nub on the side was dead. Now we've got room for potatoes to grow in there.
Okay, what about a sweet potato slip update then?
So I think these 2 are still doing okay. This one's looking better. So we're just going to actually grow potatoes in this pot this year and see what happens. These are doing great.
These were not like this. I looked at them yesterday.
Oh yeah, like yesterday they were nothing. So the butter crunches were 2-year-old seeds that didn't grow last year either. So not surprised they didn't come up again this year. But everything else is a type of lettuce. So 12 peas there. 1, 2 hasn't come up yet, but these are our other peas. The green beans are doing well. In the perfect world, these would have been starts, and I plant the good-looking starts, not the bad ones. But we ran into the problem of our thing was too great, and it filled up with all the other stuff.
Yep.
Strawberries, I'm calling them. Yep. I'm calling them. The kiwi is still thriving. My porch tomato, I have tomatoes, so I got me some better bush tomatoes in there. Got 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. 6, 7. So there's 7 tomatoes growing right there. The cherry tomatoes are still flopping up in there. I washed the pollen off of our tomato challenge, or hashtag tomato challenge 2025 plants this morning. It's gonna rain today anyway, so.
Uh-oh, no, that's a bad bug.
I also have my first pepper.
Ooh, look at that. These are all the ones that we started in the cold frame, right?
Yes. But yeah, we're in the middle of
pollinating.
Yeah, hashtag the pollinating. I need to cut down my onions. They're starting to seed. So these are sunchokes.
Okay,
they are a potato replacement. It's a diabetic friendly potato. They're not really that popular here, but apparently they have beautiful flowers. Problem is I've had these in the house now for a couple of weeks. I don't know if they're going to make it. Probably way too close together, but for now I just want to make sure they don't die.
And we don't want to just put them in a bed with other stuff because they'll take over.
Yes.
Ooh, look, we have flowers.
Yeah, this is not a good flower year because our cold frame really kind of messed our whole system up. It was too good.
Yeah.
I may just put all these forget-me-nots in one pot.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
this one did not grow at all.
Grew, so.
These are the chamomile, and these are the lion's ear. I'm glad I got me one. And it's a different one, but they look like they came off the same assembly line. Oh, there was a date on the back of those. What date were these planted?
3/8.
It's been a month. The chamomile roots are looking awesome. And yes, we know it's chamomile.
Oh!
These were planted the same day.
I think I'm going to put 4 in here. And technically we have 4 left.
Oh. This still looks really good.
Yeah, see, once you get the yellow off.
Yeah.
I mean, our system had kind of got really thrown out of whack and discombobulated this year.
Really, it's all because of the greenhouse debacle.
And as promised, what do you think of the new greenhouse? 8 of the aluminum rails, they're basically the extrusion rails is what they all are. There's 8 of them were damaged. A lot more than 8 had dents and dings. But most of that was stuff that was superficial or I could just hammer it right back out. There were 8 that were a little bit more serious that I did not know if I could fix. And as we started researching, more than one person has complained about, oh yeah, they'll tell you right up front, oh yeah, we'll send you new parts, good to go, we're going to send you out new parts. And then they complained because weeks later their parts never showed up. Long story short, between not knowing if I could get parts and the possible problems later on, once it's too late to return it, made us decide to go ahead and just send it back.
Because if we had the greenhouse, we would have more plants right now. Even though we have a lot more plants right now, looking better than they did last year this time.
Oh, yes. But yes, I think that is really my goal for next year is to have a greenhouse.
Should we set a deadline?
Next month.
No.
You didn't say a realistic time. You just said pick a time. By the end of this year, by January 1st next year, there's going to be a greenhouse right there.
By December 31st.
By December 31st of this year, there will be a greenhouse right there.
Okay, we're going to hold you to it. These are supposedly getting really tall.
I think these are also a prolific one, so I think I'm going to pot them.
My camera is getting yellow. Oh, you're going to...
I'm going to think fourth dimensionally. I'm just doing 3.
Ah.
And I'll probably still wind up cutting some off. I think next year we are going to be much more prepared.
Yes.
Than we are this year. Okay, everything from the basement is planted.
Yes. And our covered porch here.
Yes. As we said, welcome to the Pollinating 2025.
100% sure they're not going to grow?
95%.
So we went to the store and bought
strawberries.
Because we know that they're going to sell out of strawberries. And we wanted to make sure that we had some.
And I'm not putting all 3 up here.
Yep.
I'm going to, breaking the law. When my runners run, I'm going to plant a runner right there. 3rd one's going over here. And we will do the same thing then.
Is it time to put the grain stalk together yet?
Very close.
So I did just think of one problem that we're going to have this year when it comes to the watering system. You had trouble keeping the watering system going with the pots and stuff that we had. Like it barely kept up. And now we've got 10 more pots.
Only I had 2 controllers.
Well, how does 2 controllers help the water flow?
Because I never even used one of them last year.
I know, but how does that help the water flow?
I run a second line.
Oh!
You run them on 2 different schedules. Now, I'm not sure that's what I'm going to do. I need to kind of figure that out this year. I hooked them both up last year. Basically, hooked them up just like this, opposite each other. But only one of them was on a schedule. The other one was going to be used for the stuff up top, but then I just hand water all that. So I'm not exactly sure what the plan's going to be, to be honest. One thing I've learned is that these little sprinkler heads, I don't really like. I prefer, I think, the drip tape. The little...
Oh, I think
not the flat drip tape, but the drip tape that's like brown, has a little bulb and like one little hole. I think that would work way better and better mulch. We didn't have good mulch last year either. Again, it's a case of we're kind of rushing at the last minute. Things kind of screwed us all up and we're not as prepared as we ought to be. The greenhouse really kind of screwed us.
It's because we had to do the fence instead of putting together the greenhouse in one weekend.
Yeah.
It's taken 3 weekends. Okay, the last time I went over there to film the segment, I got a tick.
Well, then don't come over here. I don't know which one had settings. Oh, joy. Forgot. These things don't spin. So.
I think you remembered that last year, too.
Yeah, I remember it and then forget it every year. No need to watch me futz with this.
Now it's time to plant the potatoes we should have planted when we did the sweet potato slips. But we were exhausted.
I don't know what kind these are, but I don't think these are the indeterminate ones that keep growing more along the stem. So I'm just going to plant them high this year. Like, that thing feels rotten.
They're probably all rotten.
Now this one has potential. Ugh.
Okay, so we'll just see.
We'll just do the one bucket.
Do these buckets have holes?
Yes.
Okay.
Hydrophobic.
Yes. Yep, that water's definitely hydrophobic.
That dirt is too.
Did I say water?
You said the water is hydrophobic.
Ah, yes. Could you stick a stake in it and then let it... The right tool for the job? Oh, you just stuck it through the potato.
That is the very definition of not funny. I mean, it shouldn't have hurt it.
I was thinking, you just hit the potato. And I didn't really think you had hit the potato. And then the potato comes up. So if nothing grows there, we're going to say it's because you stabbed the potato. It may need to be stabbed again.
No. Hey, our lissam's doing well.
Yeah, that lissam that we didn't plant there. And the garlic is doing really well.
My mint's doing well.
Yes, it's nice and contained.
Hey, so, we're like, hey, lemon balm, what's it good for?
Yeah.
Apparently, lemon balm is also lemon flavored. So I wonder what lemon mint tea would be like.
See, all you needed to do was stab the potato.
Yeah, in case someone ever wondered, hey, why do they have a trash can sitting over there all the time? No, it's covering the giant chimney. Yeah, this house in the basement used to have not a fireplace, but it was a wood burning stove. But not like the pretty kind, like a big brown box, ugly one. We took it out when we first moved in. This leaks. When we re-roofed the house, I started tearing it out. I'm thinking about this weekend, I want to go ahead and try to tear the rest of it out some, get it closer to the ground. Then I'm going to spread the tarp out underneath the porch.
There's two types of projects. Ones that I can film and ones that I cannot film.
This is like watching paint dry.
And this is one that I just cannot film.
It's me with a hammer chiseling away bricks.
And then at some point, we need to redo the porch.
A Carolina finch was building a nest in our birdhouse. Yeah, the Carolina finch builds a nest. They built one underneath the gas cap.
There's a bluebird on that. That's going... It's a bluebird.
Well, I guess there's birds trying to build a nest in it now.
Well, that's as close as I can get in on the camera. Maybe editing, I can get closer. But yeah. Oh, the other thing I was saying is that eventually we're going to have to do something with this porch.
And that's kind of why I'm starting on this, is because while I was under there recently, I discovered that the porch was actually nailed to the foundation.
Oh,
and
it's not
been
good.
sinking. Now, I did have an idea. I'm going to cut it there, take everything this way off. I'm going to leave the outside piers,
ouch,
but then cut down. Then I can actually cut all of this side of the porch out, but leave the top part in as a temporary thing until later on. That way I can redo the vinyl siding on here as we need it.
You can see why it's a rabbit hole,
hole.
because we want to redo the vinyl siding and the windows and stuff. I'm getting too hot to think.
I'll keep tinkering out here. You can go inside.